Ruth, you grew up in the English Midlands, and your partner and also husband, Brooklyn, he grew up in the Midwest of the US. How did you guys meet?
Ooh, I'll give you the short story. We had a friend who was touring a lot and singer-songwriter, and he took me over to Chicago, and I met Brooklyn there. Brooklyn was the drummer for that tour, and I was a singer, so that was in 2000, yeah.
And you fell in love immediately?
No, actually, no, it's quite funny. When I first met him, I didn't really like him. I thought he was a bit of a dubious character, that's what we would say, I didn't quite know what was going on in that head. So it was a year later that I came back for a friend's wedding in Indiana. And Brooklyn's friend was supposed to pick me up, but he locked his keys in his car. Brooklyn picked me up, and I think by the time we got back from the airport, I was sold. Done.
But by that time you didn't know that you were going to make music together, right?
No, yeah, and we always kind of thought that. Our families really wanted us to sing music together because, that's what both of them loved, the way that we sang, and we just kept thinking, no, that's just going to be too cheesy. We don't want to be like Sonny and Cher and that whole thing. So it took about 3 years for us to actually make music together.
So having seen much of the US and the UK, what do you think, what is special for you about being in the US and what is special about being in the UK? What's the big differences?
Oh, it's really silly things, really. The US to me is extremely comfortable and really convenient, and when we tour it, it's just like, oh, it's stunning just to get in a car and road trip around. Everything's really far apart, but the people are so hospitable, so lovely. It's just brilliant. The amount of food that you eat is ridiculous, but that's good when you're a touring musician. You don't really have much money, so if you're going to get fed a massive portion. And then, in the UK, it's a bit different. There are a lot of bands in the UK. So when you're touring the UK, you're one of a few hundred that are all climbing and trying to get inside that bar and play. So it's different.
Okay. This record now was different in a way how it was made, because the others you pretty much you constructed the songs in your living room, like very quietly in home, and this one was pretty much written on the road, if I understand it correctly. How does that make it sound or feel different, the way it was constructed?
On a practical level, we were writing these songs during sound checks a lot of the time. So, you kind of write them within each room. Like, I can tell you different songs that we wrote, the sound check that happened in, and the room that we were in, the ambience and the people, and the way that we felt. Maybe we were really tired, or maybe we were having a fight. I don't know. It's really funny. When I hear the songs on our album, I can picture the place on the road. We were in Italy there, and we had that sound guy there, and blah, blah, blah. It's really interesting. But I think they're a bit more spacious, because we did try them out in bigger rooms, bigger halls. We wrote them like that. You can kind of feel that space. And
did you record it there, or did you just have a dictaphone or a phone? Or?
We did it on the old iPhone.
Okay.
Yeah, everyone's best friend.
And then you took those to the studio and tried to recapture the atmosphere?
Yeah, pretty much. We decided not to do too much at home. We wanted to keep it special for the studio, so we just listened to some of those iPhone demos and just started tracking. Yeah.